Right, just climbing above Vera de Erques. That's the village down there where I'm parked, and that was a pretty brutal climb so far. Almost vertical out of the village. I'm hoping it's going to ease off in a little bit. As you can see, there's a fair bit of cloud about this morning at the moment anyway, but it is quite early, so it could clear, hopefully. Well, I've climbed above the cloud now. As you can see down below, the cloud is still there. As I swing round, looking across the Barranco de Erques, and above me, beautiful blue skies. Brilliant. Still climbing. That's the view down towards Vera de Erques in the Barranco de Erques. It's absolutely gorgeous up here now, well above the cloud. As you can see, this path that I'm on is extremely steep. It's called the Camino Pino Redondo, and looking at the map in the village, it seems as though it goes all the way up to the national park, which must be some climb. Over there, I've just noticed in the centre of the picture is the abandoned village of Las Fuentes. Montaña Tajina to the left of the white building is shrouded in cloud at the moment. But yeah, what a beautiful scene. Right, I'm now over 4,700 feet above sea level. As you can see, well above the clouds now. Beautiful and sunny up here. I'm actually at a place called, it's an old abandoned farmhouse called Pajar de la Corona, and you can see an old oven there, which obviously hasn't been used for a long while. A rusty old door on it. Not fixed. This is the building. Been here before, years ago. It's a very steep climb up from Vera de Erques. There must have been pretty quiet life up here, I would imagine. Little old Canarian building built around the courtyard. Oh, that's fairly unexpected. 4,700 feet above sea level in the middle of nowhere, and all of a sudden I've got cultivated terracing in front of me. Looks like it's still used. I'm heading in that direction, so I'll be able to get a closer look at it in a minute. Just descending now into this pretty impressive barranco. Looks like we'll go down in this first section, across that ridge there, round the end of that ridge, and then up over the other side, up towards the terracing. And then when I get over there, I should have views eventually into the Barranco de Erques, which is a pretty spectacular barranco. But in the meantime, this one isn't bad either. Fantastic. Yesterday, when I was studying the map of this area for today's walk, I noticed something marked on there as, I think it was the Las Cuevas de Hernando Diaz, and I also saw it marked with a different name on another map, but I can't remember what that was now. But I'm guessing this is the caves they're talking about on the map. I can't remember the name of this barranco either, and the map I've got with me doesn't, although it shows the barranco, it doesn't actually name it. But I'm just coming up. The next barranco I'm going to reach is going to be the Barranco de Erques, so I know this is the caves that were marked on the map. Anyway, onwards and upwards. Well, that was an interesting section along the base of those cliffs. The path is almost obliterated by fallen rocks and trees that have burnt down in a forest fire. The path is still there in places, and I'm on it now, but you really need to stay close to the base of the cliffs and scramble over any rocks and trees that are laying there, because if you drift down the side of this hill, the side of the barranco, it's just impassable. But I'm now going I'm going across and then up and over in that direction towards the Barranco de Erques. I've just got to scramble down here and find the path on the other side. Well, that was quite difficult. The path, as I said earlier, runs below those red cliffs there, but is largely obliterated by fallen rocks and fallen trees that have been burnt in forest fire. And then at some point, part way along the cliffs, you have to descend down that side of the Barranco wall there, and basically you're just scrambling down on your backside because it's very loose and stony. And then there's a climb up this side to here, which is pretty overgrown, but the scenery's worth it. Just imagine there in the centre of the picture in heavy rain, that would be a pretty spectacular waterfall. It was wonderful here, very, very quiet, superb. This is the terracing that I was talking about earlier on from over in that direction. Obviously well tended. There's also a type of sort of wooden cabin over there as well, with a bit of a veranda on it. Must have a fantastic view from in there. Nobody about though, it's dead quiet. Right, well, I'm descending now, and throughout the morning the cloud has been creeping up the hillside and I'm almost back into it, although I'm still quite high up. I'm taking this video because I wanted to show you, this isn't the best view of it, but I think it's going to be swallowed up in a minute, so I'm doing it now. This is called, this cliff face is called Risco Tornasolo, and it's in the Barranco de Erques, which I'm going to be walking down alongside in a moment, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to see anything seeing any views into it at all. But it's a bit of a shame, but most of the walk up until now has been in sunshine, so I don't suppose I can complain too much. Anyway, if I do get a better view of the cliffs there, I'll switch on again later. I'm standing on the edge of the Barranco de Erques. Unfortunately, as you can see, the cloud has rolled up the hillsides and there's no views at all at the moment, which is a shame because the views from here are pretty spectacular. I've got to cross the Barranco further down to get back to the village of Vera de Erques, so might get some views of it when I drop down a bit further, but I'm not too hopeful at the moment. Got to go in that direction now. See the mist rolling up and out of the Barranco. Not too much longer to go now anyway. Nearly finished the walk. I'm just entering, descending into the Barranco de Erques for the second time, crossing it again and then following that path on the opposite side, which will take me up into the village of Vera de Erques and the end of the walk. Unfortunately, the last part of the walk was a bit devoid of decent views because the cloud rolled in again, but overall it's been a really good day. A bit of a difficult walk if you're not used to really long steep climbs and scrambly bits, but otherwise a really excellent walk. Just coming back into Vera de Erques, very rocky and slippery path coming down into the Barranco. Well, this is quite easy, no problems with this.